up? What's up? What's good? Welcome to Clarence Sports Talkative Jones. Clarence Sports Talkative Jones presented by PlayProgressGo.com. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Follow me on all my social media platforms. I'll follow you back. Twitter X at underscore Clarence Jones, Instagram underscore Clarence Jones, YouTube Clarence Jones TV, website PlayProgressGo.com. Holla at me. I'm gonna follow you back on all those platforms. Let me know you following me so I can follow you back. Like I always tell you, it's a two-way street, not a one-way street. All right. So I'm staying on my Falcons. Episode 153. I was talking about Falcons and the Matt Ryan situation, who he gonna hire. What went down with Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot off the blank. We talked Falcons on 153, and we talking Falcons on 154. So I got my I don't want to say wish, but I got the coach that I was looking for. I got the coach that I wanted to coach my Falcons, and that's Kevin Stefanski. So congratulations to Kevin Stefanski becoming the new head coach of my Atlanta Falcons. All right, that's who I wanted. Like I say, when you put the resume up, I mean, we couldn't have passed on this opportunity. To possibly have this man coach our team. Okay. So what I'm hitting on today is this hire seemed to have a lot of Falcon fans pissed off, not happy, pissed off. People feel like, Matt Ryan made a bad decision. People feel like we don't know what we're doing. A lot of people just not happy. Like a lot of Falcon fans I'm seeing on social media, I've talked to a few, and people just not happy with this hire. So I want to dive in. Like I said, I'm not taking up for Kevin Stefanski. This episode is not for me to convince you to say, hey, believe in Kevin Stefanski, trust what I'm saying, it's going to work. No. I mean, you listen to this and, you take what you want to take out of it. Like, so I'm talking to Falcon fans or any outside NFL fans of other teams that you may want, may have some interest in, this Kevin Stefanski hire. What is it? Why did he did it? Why did he took the job? Why did Matt Ryan hire him? Why is Falcon fans pissed off? So if you're not a Falcon fan, you just want to dive in, pop your popcorn, and kick back, go ahead and do that because I'm going to get into this situation. I just feel like right now, Kevin Stefanski is taking unnecessary heat from a lot of Falcon fans, and it's not cool. It's not right. I don't like it. But hey, you're entitled to feel how you want to feel as you are. You're a Falcon fan just like me, but that don't mean we got to think the same. We don't got to talk the same. We don't got to act the same. So you're allowed to feel how you want to feel about this hire. But let me dive into this and listen to me close. We've all been Kevin Stefanski before. Okay. We've all, meaning Falcon fans, non-Falcon fans, you're a fan of sports. Hell, you're not even a fan of sports. We've all been Kevin Stefanski before. Some of us are still Kevin Stefanski. Every day. Okay. Every day. We on a job. Every night we on a job. Oh, Clarence, what are you talking about, man? I don't play football. I'm not a coach. What are you talking about, Clarence? You tripping, man. You all right today? I'm all right. Chill. I'm going to get to it. What I'm saying is when we're working a job, right? Okay, and we having to prove ourselves. You're Kevin Stefanski. We all are. Either we still, on that job, happen to prove ourselves day in and day out, however you want to call it. We Kevin Stefanski. Okay. We've all worked in bad work environments, right? Unorganized, unprofessional. We've all been there. Some of us are still working jobs that's just a bad environment. It's too much drama, it's negative, unprofessional, unorganized. But why are you still there? Because we got to pay bills. Bills got to get paid. But we've all been part of that company that just, they go another day, got to clock in, the boss this, the manager that, the coworker this, somebody didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? We've earned awards at these bad environment, unorganized, unprofessional jobs. We've earned awards. We've got employee of the month, employee of the year. We've got promotions. We've got pay raises. We've all been there before. We're Kevin Stefanski. That's who we are. You know what I'm saying? We've been in that boat before. We've been part of that terrible company. All right. Taking the boss orders. Even though the boss is making bad decisions, Even if we don't agree with what the boss saying that the company should do, we still agree with the boss, even though, hey, low key, like, I don't think that's a good decision. I don't believe in that decision. That's a terrible decision. It's not good for the company. We've been there before. You know what I'm saying? We've had to agree. We've had to agree. How I go, agree to disagree. We've been there with management to bosses. Okay. What else? I got a whole list of things. From decision making. Representing the company by any means necessary. Whatever the boss say, we just gotta stick with it. We got bills to pay. We in that top position. The boss trusting us, even though he or she may not want to take our input. We at the top of we managers. We on our way to being managers, and the boss trusting us, but low key, we like, I'm not with these decisions, but we still rolling with it. You know what I'm saying? We've been there, and just because, we've worked at a bad, unorganized, unprofessional company, that doesn't mean we are bad employees. Let me repeat that. Okay. For all you people out there that's knocking Kevin Stefanski and he came from Cleveland Browns and you saw his record. I don't care about the 2-time Coach of the Year award. I don't care about him bringing the Browns to the playoffs 2 times and only winning 1 playoff. He didn't, he lost, he didn't win a Super Bowl. He didn't got deep in the playoffs. Like I said, the Browns is an unorganized, unprofessional drama company. Unorganized and unprofessional company, a bad company, bad environment. But just because we've worked in that company or we still may be employed at that company, it doesn't mean that we are bad employees. It doesn't mean if we leave this bad environment company that's unorganized and unprofessional, it doesn't mean that, okay, we get this new job or a new job want to hire us, that we are bad employees. Okay? That new job wouldn't have hired us if they thought that, okay, well, they did came from that bad company. They did came from that bad, Clarence did came from that bad company, bad environment, unorganized, professional. But look at his resume. Look what he achieved in 6 years here. He got awards, he got pay raises, he got promotions, and that's how we should be looking at Kevin Stefanski. But we're not. We're making this thing about so many other things, race and, he don't fit the culture. We need a black coach. This is just, you see how he did Shador. That's effed up that we making it about that. Some of us don't even know the whole story. Do you know that Kevin Stefanski, the GM and the owner wasn't all on the same page? Most of these decisions have been made in Cleveland when Stefanski was there. From what's the guy named Andrew Berry, I think the GM and the owner is it Jimmy Haslam? I think they were in charge. Stefanski just was like, hey, okay, I support it, even though low key in his mind he didn't support. He was just like, what the f we're doing? Why are we doing this? And I'm talking about everything from the Deshaun Watson trade, letting go Baker Mayfield for Deshaun Watson, all the draft picks from Shador, and like I say, we don't truly know whether Stefanski wanted Shador. No, he never came out and say he didn't want him. But some of us, if not all, are judging, hey, look how his face expression looked when they draft Shador. Look how he's talking the interview in the press conference. Oh, man, Atlanta is the ATL, baby. We need a black coach. It's the black culture. He don't fit the culture. At the end of the day, do you do this about the Atlanta Braves? Do you say anything about the Atlanta Braves when they come to being black and make it about race and a culture? No, you don't. So why are you doing it to Kevin Stefanski? With all due respect, why are you doing it to Kevin Stefanski? Do you do it with the Atlanta Hawks? Oh, we need a black coach, it's Atlanta Hawks. You don't do it with the Atlanta Hawks. You don't do it with the Atlanta Braves. So why do you want to do it with the Atlanta Falcons with Kevin Stefanski? I mean, we've had black coaches and black coach. Raheem Morris was our first black coach. But did you do this to Dan Reeves when he became our coach? Did you do it to Mike Smith? Did you do it to Arthur Smith? Did you do it to Dan Quinn? I'm just saying. A lot of you that's making this about culture and race, and I get it. Atlanta is a majority African American, city. I get it. The state of Georgia, I get it. But at the same time, it doesn't give you the right just because you black to just bash this man down to the ground. Oh, look how he did Shador. He gonna do the same thing to us. He's gonna ruin Michael Penix Jr.'s career. He don't fit the culture. He don't know how we do it in the ATL. You say, like, one thing I don't get, you say you trust Matt Ryan, but now you're going against Matt Ryan. You say you think Matt Ryan gonna make the best decisions, but now you looking at Matt Ryan with the side eye. Like, that's just not cool. Because like I said, a lot of you not doing this to the Braves and the Hawks. I don't care whether you watch baseball or basketball or not. You watch one of them, if not both. And you ain't doing it to the Braves culture. You ain't doing it to the Hawks culture. So why are you doing it to the Falcons culture? I get it. You may have wanted Mike Tomlin or Kubiak or Brady, Joe Brady, Cliff Kingsbury, Harbaugh, whoever you may have wanted. I get it. I understand. But, this is what we have. This is the decision Matt Ryan made, and I think it's a good decision. You know what I'm saying? I really do. But I can guarantee you, a lot of you don't do it to the Braves and the Hawks culture. You don't make a big fuss and complain about, the Braves need a black manager. The Hawks need a black coach. The Braves need a black, front office. And the Hawks need a black front office. It's the culture, man. The ATL, man. Stop it. Because at the end of the day, because Kevin Stefanski's job is to coach the Atlanta Falcons. It's not to try to fit in with the culture and, whatever you may approve of how fitting in the culture means. That's not why Kevin Stefanski came to coach our Atlanta Falcons. Give the man a chance. Give the man a fair opportunity. Okay? A healthy work environment. Professional, organized environment. Good management, good people equals success. And that's what the Atlanta Falcons front office, you mix it with Kevin Stefanski, Matt Ryan, Arthur Blank, and everyone in that front office making things work for Atlanta. We're aiming for success, okay? Good management, good people, a healthy workplace environment, professional, organized environment equals success. All right? New place of employment. A new place of employment. We can still be successful at a new place of employment. Even through all that bad company that you have went through, all those companies you went through with your resume. You go back and look at your resume. I guarantee you got some things on your resume, some jobs. You just like, I don't know why I stood there that long. I don't know why I stayed there. I should have been left. But you look at all what you accomplished. You got all these awards. You got pay raises. You became a manager. You was able to train other employees. You made a good resume out of a bad organization. You had a good reputation. You created a good reputation. You made a great reputation of yourself at a bad company. That's the same thing Kevin Stefanski did in Cleveland. That man was dealing with a lot in Cleveland. It wasn't just coach. It was dealing with GM going over his head, the owner going over his head. They making decisions without this man. And when they bring him in, they expect this man just to say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's what Kevin Stefanski was doing the entire time in Cleveland. It was, 6-year run? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree. Yes, sir. It was never no, I disagree. Why he didn't do it? Maybe he just didn't want to cause any function, no drama. Well, I would have went against what Andrew Barry and Jimmy Haslam saying. Hell yeah. Well, you have went against it? I'm probably sure you would. We Falcon fans, you know what I'm saying? We're going to speak our mind, Or you just, even if you're not a Falcon fan, you're not just going to sit and take orders on the job. Some of us going to go against what the boss is saying. Some of us are not. And Kevin Stefanski, he was just not willing to go against the GM, Andrew Barry, and the owner, Jimmy Haslam. But that doesn't mean that he's a bad person. He's not a good person. He's not a good fit. No. Just didn't want to cause any problem. How many times we go through life with our friends, family, we just, whoever we're dealing with, we let people, all right, yeah, you got it. You're right. Because we ain't trying to have drama in our place of employment, in our place of peace, with our friends, family, whatever. We ain't trying to do drama. And that's all Stefanski was doing in Cleveland. Whatever they say, even though they wrong for going over his head, making all these decisions. This man, do you know Kevin Stefanski worked with 13 to 14 quarterbacks throughout his time in Cleveland? He worked with a lot. And a lot of it, he wasn't in control of a lot of the decisions. They said, hey, here's the groceries, cook for us. So the owner, Jimmy Haslam, and the GM, Andrew Barry, they went and got the groceries and said, hey, man, cook. Stefanski had no saying, hey, I want this, I want that. Hey, man, here's the groceries, you cook or else you're fired. That's how it went down throughout his 6-year run. So for you to judge this man when he finally got a clean slate for our Atlanta Falcons to have a say-so in the GM and do things the right way in a professional, organized way, now you judging him based off all this mess I just told you what he dealt with in Cleveland. Come on now. Come on. You know what I'm saying? And did it ever cross your mind? Like I said, I get it. Some of you may have, I heard a lot of people, hey, I wanted Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin not interested in coaching. We don't know whether he be back or not. Kubiak, like I said, Joe Brady, Mike McDaniel, Jesse Minter, Mike McCarthy. Trying to see, did I miss anybody? Whoever else was on the coaching candidate market, did it ever cross your mind? Maybe them coaches didn't want us. All those, interviews we've had, maybe everybody wasn't on board. Some probably would, some probably wasn't, but maybe for the most part, a lot of people wanted Kubiak. I think Kubiak would have been a great addition for Atlanta Falcons. But maybe we didn't want to wait on Kubiak. Maybe Kubiak wasn't truly too much sure about us. We don't know because they don't tell us how these interviews go. Sometimes I wish they would get deep into telling us something, but all they do now, or hell, all teams do it, they just post, we interviewed so-and-so. But they never tell us how it go. Maybe it was a bad interview. Maybe Kubiak didn't, like I said, we don't know. We just don't know. We always think, man, we should have got this coach. We should have got that coach. Maybe that coach wasn't feeling us for many reasons. You know what I mean? We got a bad situation right now with our quarterback situation. It's not set. Michael Penix Jr. not set to come back to what? Late August, mid-August. We don't know is Kirk Cousins going to come back or not. Quarterback situation is just not good right now. Maybe that can say, bad. Maybe it's a bad sign to a new coach coming in. Budgeting issues. With paying Kirk Cousins all the money, we got to restructure this, and Kyle Pitts. Is we going to franchise tag him? It's so much going on in the budgeting side. That could be a reason why. Or it could just be maybe the team roster. Maybe a coach that's interviewing us feel like, man, the Ravens got a better better roster. Whoever, the Steelers, the Giants, all these jobs open. The Cardinals, the Eagles coordinator job. You name it. Maybe some candidates felt like they can do better with another better roster. I don't know. So you just can't put it all on Matt Ryan and say, well, you shouldn't have chose Stefanski. Maybe it was a mutual agreement. Maybe, Stefanski and Matt Ryan and their talk, their interview, their two interviews they did, maybe it was mutual. It felt really good. But like I said, just sit back and think. A lot of these coaches that you may have wanted, maybe they didn't want us. Like I said, this quarterback situation is a big mess. And that's why I thank Kevin Stefanski for coming to Atlanta, because he's willing to deal with our quarterback situation when he didn't even have to do it because of what he dealt with in Cleveland, going through 13 to 14 quarterbacks and decide, hey, I'm going to stop in Atlanta. I'm going to coach Atlanta and go through the same situation where we don't have a guaranteed quarterback yet. We don't know when our quarterback is coming back. Is he going to be ready come, season time? He put all it to the side, said, I'm going to deal with Atlanta. I trust that I can do something with this roster. We can win it. We can win a division. We can get to the playoffs. We can win a Super Bowl. He avoided our quarterback situation, our budgeting situation. He feel like we have the pieces in place to go out and win the division, get in the playoffs, and go for a run at the Super Bowl. Kevin Stefanski could have said, hell no, I ain't dealing with this roster. I'd go do an interview, but hey, that Ravens job is open. I got a chance to work with Lamar Jackson. I ain't got to go through 13 and 14 quarterbacks no more. I can go work with Cam Ward in Tennessee. Guaranteed quarterback set in both Baltimore and Tennessee. Why pick Atlanta for it? I don't know what Kirk Cousins is going to do. Yeah, I worked with Kirk Cousins in the past, but that's the past. Michael Penix ain't set to come back to late August. Do I want to sit around and do quarterback shopping in a free agency, go after a Daniel Jones or Mac Jones, a Kyler Murray trade? Do I want to go through a Malik Willis? He could have said no, but he didn't, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we got to respect this man. We got to give this man an opportunity. I feel it's going to work. I think it's going to work. You know what I mean? But like I said, I thank him for that. I was shocked as hell when we got him because I was like, I think it was Saturday. We interviewed him for the second time, and I posted on my social media, on Twitter X. I said, if we don't sign Kevin Stefanski today, we're going to lose him. And what do we know? Later Saturday night, we signed him. I ain't had no sources. It's just my thinking. I'm a strategy at this, this stuff I do. I love media. I love, thinking and, put my thinking cap on. I say, if we don't sign Kevin Stefanski today, we don't offer him the job today, he going to go out and take a Tennessee job or the Baltimore Ravens because he was set to meet with Tennessee that next day, which was Sunday. I said, we got to offer him the job today, and we did. Because we don't know what Kubiak is thinking. We don't know what Joe Brady and Cliff Kingsbury and, like I said, Harbaugh already went with the Giants. We don't know what Jesse Minch at the time was thinking. Just because we may think our roster is the you-know-what, it doesn't mean that it's the you-know-what. Okay? Just because you think you the shit, it doesn't mean you the shit. Okay? Just because we think we look good, it doesn't mean that we look good to some other people. Of course, we're going to believe we look good. Of course, we're going to believe we the shit. But it doesn't mean that everybody outside does that. Everybody don't look at Atlanta Falcons as an attractive organization. Man, they got good players. I can win a chip there. No. People say, I want to go coach somewhere else. It's called decline. So again, before you start giving Matt Ryan and Arthur Blank all his hell, go back and think about that. Maybe everyone we interview was like, yeah, I do the interview, but I didn't like what I'm hearing. Or maybe, you felt like, man, I don't know, Clint. At the end of the day, I think it's the right decision. But you just can't say we should have got Kubiak, we should have got Mike Tomlin, we should have got Harbaugh. Harbaugh didn't choose us for a reason. You see all these problems we got? Quarterback, budgeting, franchise tagging Kyle Pitts. Mainly the quarterback situation ain't right. And one of the first things that Harbaugh said when he did his Giants interview is quarterback. You know what I mean? Jackson, that was a big piece. They got a quarterback. So for Kevin Stefanski to put all that to the side, even though what he dealt with in Cleveland from quarterback after quarterback after quarterback, I respect that, man. I love it. I love that he coming to work with us. Like I said, my expectations, my thoughts on playoffs and Super Bowls, I feel like we can get a Super Bowl. I'm not going to get on this rant and say, we're going to go all crazy with it and we're going to win a bunch. But I think we can be a start to winning a Super Bowl. I really do. Far as like expectations, my thoughts is to definitely have winning seasons. While we got Kevin Stefanski, I'm expecting to have winning seasons. I'm expecting for us to make the playoff appearances. I'm expecting us to win a division, and I'm expecting us to get at least one Super Bowl throughout his 5-year run. Maybe we get more, but I think we can get one out of his 5-year run. He got a 5-year deal with us. I'll be thankful if we can get more. You know what I mean? I see us kind of being compared to those 27-18 Eagles when Coach Peterson was there and they went on that run. They lost their quarterback in the middle of the regular season. Nick Foles came in and just take them on a ride, a streak. They got to the playoffs, and they just make it do what it do. I think we could be similar to that. Not 100%, but we can be a team like that can just carry it on year after year. The 2017-2018 Eagles was one of my favorite teams. I like the way that they went on their path to win the Super Bowl, along with the 2011 Packers when they was a 6th seed and they shocked the world. But I think we can be one of those teams like that. We can just, 2017-18 Eagles. Peterson came in there. He got a Super Bowl in his second year. They went they went what did they win? I can't even see my notes here. Yeah, they went 13-3, and that was their first Super Bowl. Yeah, they went 13-3 that year, and that was their first Super Bowl. Now they didn't any repeats, but I thought that team was a great inspiration. As I'm thinking last night, who could we be possibly? And I said, we could be the 2017-18 Eagles. We could even be one of those Eli Manning teams that beat the Patriots. But maybe I see us in that boat as I think Kevin Stefanski can come in like how Doug Peterson came with the Eagles and make a run. I really do. I think we're going to have more good than bad in the Kevin Stefanski era than we did with the Raheem Morris, the Arthur Smith, the Dan Quinns. I like what Mike Smith did, with us. But, and I like what Dan Quinn did with us too. But I think Kevin Stefanski could match Dan Quinn's success and Mike Smith's success. I think he could take it up a little bit higher, turn up the notch. I'm excited for this Kevin Stefanski era with my Atlanta Falcons. And like I said, I'm not trying to convince you, but like I said, I see us being a good team for the next 5 years. Like I said, I see us being similar to those 2017-18 Eagles. They won that run. They lost Carson Wentz. And, who's going to be the quarterback? And Nick Foles is a backup. And Nick Foles is on a streak. The regular season got to the playoffs and tore it up. Beat Tom Brady to go. You know what I mean? Think about that there. And I remember when Doug Peterson got hired for Philly back in, was it 2016? A lot of you Eagle fans wasn't happy. Doug Peterson, man, we ain't going to win nothing. We should have hired so-and-so. And what do you know? That second year, first Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I see it being the same for my Atlanta Falcons. We're going to get our first Super Bowl. Throughout Kevin Stefanski's 5-year run, it's going to be success. We're going to get our Super Bowl. I hope we can get multiple ones, but I see us getting one in this 5-year run. Maybe Kevin Stefanski get an extension throughout his, after his second year. I think it's going to be a lot of success in Atlanta. And like I said, I'm expecting us to win the division, be in the playoffs every single year for the next 5 years, and get a Super Bowl. I'm not saying Super Bowls with the S, but I believe we can get one. But if we get more than one, oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine? Some of you are going to go back and say, I shouldn't have doubted Kevin Stefanski. What was I thinking? You're going to go back into your Twitters and start trying to delete your messages. You know what I mean? Of everything you said about Stefanski on your YouTubes, Facebook, Instagram, all that. You're going to be regretting this. You're going to eat crow. Because I think this man's going to do a great job for us. He's going to be a great piece for us. He's the guy we needed. We couldn't have passed up on a coach that won 2 Coach of the Year awards in Cleveland in that bad organization. In that bad, unorganized, unprofessional, bad management, it's drama, the GM going over my head, the owner going over my head, they talking low-key without me, making decisions without me. They going to the grocery store, getting the groceries and not even asking me, do I want to add something? Hey, do you want some juice? You want some bread? You didn't ask me nothing. And that's what he dealt with throughout his 6-year run. But like I said, go back and think about what I said at the top of this podcast. We've all been there before. Some of us are still there. When we're working for companies where we got this drama, people ain't showing up. We got to call HR. It's drama on the job. There's favoritism on the job. People make a decision without me. I've been there longer, but you're letting somebody else make the decisions. You're not giving me no say on no think on hey what I think. My opinions don't matter. We all been through that, and we still got awards. We got pay raises. We got promotions. We became managers. We became trainers to employees. We were in a position to hire people, and through all that, we still did all that success and went through all that shit at a bad company. And that's all Kevin Stefanski is doing. He's taking all the success, everything that he's been through in Cleveland, that bad company, and he coming to a fresh, new, professional company, the Atlanta Falcons. Give the man an opportunity. Trust the man. Because like I said, you ain't doing it to the Atlanta Braves. You ain't talking about race and culture with the Atlanta Braves. You ain't talking about race and culture with the Hawks. So stop it. Trust this man. Trust his plan. Trust what he's doing. If it don't work, hey, I get on the podcast episode and I apologize to you and told you I was a dumbass for believing Kevin Stefanski. I'll do that. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think I'm going to be apologizing to you because I think Stefanski will be successful. He gonna do right by us. This man was at a terrible organization. Now he had a great one. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I appreciate your support. Follow me. I'll follow you back on all my social medias. Like I just told you early in the podcast. What it is, Twitter X @ Clarence Jones, Instagram _ Clarence Jones, YouTube Clarence Jones TV, website playprogressgo.com. And like I tell you, if you're interested in working in sports, send me an email, ppgoals@yahoo.com or coachjones21@yahoo.com. email me, say, hey, I'm interested in working in sports, subject working in sports. Let me know what you're thinking. I'll get back with you. I'll send some information to get you started in the sports career, get you some certifications, all that great education. God bless. Take care. Peace.